Hello everyone and welcome to this video. We are here to present our art integrated project of biology on topic forest and wildlife in Gujarat and Chhattisgarh. So before start, I would like to thank to our biology teacher Mr. H.S. Bhagor for kind helping us in this project. Now let us see the topics covered in this video. Biological status of Gujarat by Marvi. Biological status of Chhattisgarh by Pooja. Differentiate between Gujarat and Chhattisgarh by Priyanshi. Name of national parks and biodiversity by Komal. Gujarat is a state on western coast of India with coastline of 1600 km. Most of lies on the Kathiawar Peninsula and population of 60.4 million. It is the fifth largest Indian state by area and the ninth largest state by population. Let us know about biological status of Gujarat. Gujarat has only 11.04% of its geographical area declared as forest, which is much below the national average. Forest and tree cover is in the extent of 7.48% and 4.26% of its geographical area. The hills, which are higher in elevation, receive more rainfall than low-lying plains. Forests of Gujarat mainly found in hills of Saurashtra and the other hilly parts of the state. Hills of the Kutch are the exception as these hills receive little rainfall. Little less than 20 lakh hectares of land is under forest cover. Southern part of Gujarat is rich in deciduous vegetation such as teak. The hills of Kutch has thorny forest constituting trees such as Acacia arbica, Acacia leucophylla, Sisyphus moratiana, and Copperas ophylla. Flora in Gujarat include wide variety of vegetation. Wide range of climatic condition facilitates the prevalence of many types of flora. In Gujarat, we find more than 400 species of flora. Forest and Environment Department forms policy for conservation of the forest, protection of wildlife and environment in the state of Gujarat. There are 4 national parks, 23 sanctuaries, and 1 conservation reserve.
Chhattisgarh state, lying in Vidyan Hills regions and Deccan Plateau in central India, has over 44% of its land area under forest and is rich in biodiversity. 7.8 million indigenous and tribal communities eke out their livelihood from these forests and biological resources. These forests are also origin of major rivers like Mahanadi, Indravati and Narmada. Chhattisgarh has 3 national parks, 11 wildlife sanctuaries, and 3 tiger reserves, had endangered fauna like wild buffalo. Unfortunately, much of ecological research in India focuses on charismatic species and biodiversity hotspots like Western Ghats and Northeast, without much focus in regions like Chhattisgarh, but valuable research contributions can be made by ecologists for the state of Chhattisgarh to address the different issues discussed in the article. Now let's compare forest and wildlife of Gujarat and Chhattisgarh. Gujarat has 11.04% of forests out of total land area, whereas Chhattisgarh has a large part of forest at 44% of its land. Talking about flora and fauna, Gujarat has 400 different species of flora and 500 different mammals and 2000 species of birds are there, whereas Chhattisgarh has 137 species of flora and many different species of fauna as well. Gujarat has an average rainfall of 450 millimeters, whereas Chhattisgarh has an average rainfall is 1292 millimeters. Chhattisgarh has 33 degrees Celsius average temperature, whereas Gujarat has 29 degrees Celsius as average temperature.
Let's know about biodiversity of Gujarat and Chhattisgarh. Out of 16 forest types found in India, 4 are present in Gujarat. Moist and dry deciduous forests are located mainly in the eastern belt from Banaskantha to Valsad. Saputara Hill Station is located in the Sahyadri Hill at an altitude of approximately 1000 meters. Sasangir Junagadh is sole home of the Asiatic lions and is considered to be one of the most important protected areas. A dynamic online forest monitoring and alert system can be adopted that empowers people everywhere to better manage forest. The mapping applications unite satellite technology, open data, and crowdsourcing to have timely and reliable information about forest. India Biodiversity Award 2014 jointly instituted by Indian government and the UNDP for its contribution towards the conservation of the whale sharks. Anand is the leading district in terms of agroforestry, animal husbandry and agriculture. The spreads of planted forest has been accelerating. Planted forests now cover nearly 264 million hectares, comprising nearly 7% of total forest area. Chhattisgarh is incredibly popular across the country for its dense forested region as well as local culture that is primarily linked with the forest and the trees of the state. In accordance with the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, the Achnakumar Wildlife Sanctuary of Chhattisgarh was established in the year of 1975. Further, of all the wildlife sanctuaries in Chhattisgarh, the Achnakumar Wildlife Sanctuary boasts of a rich fauna. Badal Wildlife Sanctuary has a rich wildlife density. The sanctuary is open for major part of the year, but the best time to make a visit to the sanctuary is from the months of November to June. Important species of animals that are found here include spotted deer and chinkara. Spreads over an area of 245 square kilometer, Barnaupura Wildlife Sanctuary located in the Mahasamud district. A wildlife tour to the Bairamgarh Wildlife Sanctuary can be a very rich and rewarding experience of the distinct qualities that are native to the state. Pamed Wild Buffalo Wildlife Sanctuary is spread over an area of 262 square kilometers and is a renowned wildlife reserve in central India.
Thanks for watching, guys.